Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, hey Canucks fans. All right, I can already see that we are lucky tonight. Okay, this could be a challenge. Welcome everyone to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am going to test a couple things real quick. Give me a second. I'm going to test a couple things real quick as we are going, and then I'll do a proper shutting down a few things on my computer as we speak, and then maybe everything will be much better. Oh, that even looks better already. Okay, give me one more second, and then I think we will be good to go. Sorry, friends. I thought I was ready to go, and I'm so excited because I see people winning medals. I see people talking about who's going to play for a gold medal. Tonight's going to be a great show, and I can't wait to get into it, but I just got to check one more thing. That's why I was kind of late, actually, to be honest with you, but we're going to try and make it work, and because I do want to be good for all you guys. How's it sound? Okay, sounds okay. Is it lagging? All right, welcome everyone to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate for Sunday night, February the 16th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. So many of you being generous already. And let me do my proper intro first, and then I'll get into your donations and recognizing a really cool achievement from one of our very important members here. So members of the community. So welcome everyone. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support. And everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else getting ready for work, school, or better, all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel and get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos. You can like the video, like the fact that we are together, like the fact that it's Canada versus Finland in basically a must-win game tomorrow. That's pretty exciting. Like the fact that the Canucks, don't forget, they were one of the hottest teams in the league before their break. Like the fact that we're together tonight, despite no Canucks games. Like the fact that Lucas was honored today with an amazing, amazing award called the King Charles III Coronation Medal. I'll get to that in a second. Like that. Like the fact that, that most of us, not everyone, but most of us aren't working tomorrow. So we can watch that Canada versus Finland hockey game. So appreciate your support as always. You can leave a donation like already Lucas has done, that Swerve Irvin has done. We'll get to that in a second. You can gift a membership like Just Incredible has done. So we're already 2/5 to our high five already. You can buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review, even though that start to today's show was a little bit rough. All right. What I want to do is I want to recognize some of the donations that came in even before I got here. So even before I started, it was Swerve Irvin going under the alias of Jake's Gives Hockey. But he started us off with the $3 donation. So let's give Swerve Irvin some love in the chat. $3 donation gets the donation train out of the station. Thank you, Swervin' Irvin. Let's give Swervin' Irvin some love in the chat. Then legendary Lucas Gates, $5 donation. Let me sound the goal horn that he made, and then we'll talk about this real quick. $5 donation from legendary Lucas Gates. Well, today was fun. One of the newest recipients of the King Charles III Coronation Medal. Today was a good day. Congratulations, Lucas. I must admit, I hadn't heard of this, so I looked it up just before I came on, went live. And I please correct me if I'm wrong. I acknowledge that this award goes to people in Canada who either nationally or locally basically have done some extraordinary things. And I don't know the exact criteria, but my guess is in recognizing your work with the autism advocacy that you're doing outstanding work. You're going above and beyond, and you deserve to be recognized at this level. So Lucas, you can fill in the gaps because that was after a quick Google search, but fill in the gaps, please. But congratulations, Lucas. That is correct. Awesome. So that was, I didn't make that up. I was trying my best to what's the word? Summarize or whatever it is. Paraphrase. That's the word I was looking for. So congratulations once again, Lucas. You are very, very deserved. So let's give Lucas some love in the chat, not only for giving a donation, but for more importantly, being recognized with such a great honor. So once again, congratulations to the legendary Lucas Gates. And then Hall of Fame member Justin Credible jumps in with 5 membership gifts. So let's give some love to Hall of Fame member Justin Credible, who gives 5 memberships. That's the equivalent of a $25 donation. And they go to Anson, Patricia, yes, Evo Clay's good twin, Lee C. and Dave Everett. Welcome to all of you. Credit to Justin, courtesy of Justin Credible. So thank you, Justin, and welcome to all 5 of you to franchise membership for the next month. By the way, anyone who's won tickets from me or won van base from me or has bought tickets from me, I will take care of all of that tomorrow. It's been a busy weekend for me, but I will take care of all of that tomorrow for sure. And just before I get into previewing tomorrow morning's massive game, just want to give you a quick heads up on my weekend, which I like to do, but don't worry, I'll only be a few minutes, I promise. So yesterday was a lot of hockey watching in the morning and then in the evening. And then I can't remember what I did in between. Oh, no, Friday. Let's start again. Friday. So I streamed Thursday. Friday, as I told you, very romantic. Gail and I went to Tsawwassen Mills, spent a bunch of money. Well, enough money. I bought myself some new dress shoes, a new dress shirt, and some jogging pants, which I need. Don't ask. Well, yeah, you can ask. I ripped a hole in mine on Jake's car. Now you don't have to ask. So that was our Friday. Then Saturday, there was the morning game. Then I think I ran some errands during the afternoon. And then Saturday night was the big game between Canada and the U.S. that the U.S. ended up winning. We can talk about that a little bit. So most of my Saturday was indeed filled with hockey. And then today, Kayla and I bowled in the tournament. We came in 27th out of 41, so like the bottom third. But didn't place, obviously, coming 27th. I had a pretty good day of bowling. Kayla had a pretty good day of bowling. We could have both done better, but most importantly, I wanted her to ramp up and just get some reps in because she has her provincial tournament and coming up this Saturday. So it was great to spend the day bowling with Kayla. Gail came to bring us lunch, which was nice. Sean came to watch as well. Only Jacob was missing. If Jacob bowled, he might have won the tournament, but Jacob was busy filming a project for school. But that was my weekend. Basically hockey yesterday, bowling today, followed by mass, then all you can eat Japanese food. So if I'm a little sluggish right now, that's why. And then I had to bump a couple of my one-on-one chats, but we will reschedule those over the next 2 weeks. Okay. So I want to show you, we don't have to talk about last night's game too much, but we can talk about it, through the lens or under the guise of getting ready for previewing tomorrow's big 2 games. So I tweeted something out today, and I'm not the only one who's done it, but this one got some love because some people said that it was a very, very succinct way of summarizing what has to happen tomorrow. So I'm going to show you this. Now I'm lagging because I'm showing something. But okay, if I'm lagging, as long as you can hear me, I don't mind the video lagging when I'm small on the screen here, and then as long as it's not lagging when it's me in the big thing. Okay, I can still hear it. Good. So all this is predicated on two things. The scoring system for Four Nations Face-Off is a little different. In every single game, there's 3 points awarded. So if a team wins in regulation, they get 3, and the team that loses gets 0 points. If a team wins in overtime or shootout, they get 2 points, and then the team that lost in overtime or the shootout gets 1 point. So no matter which way you slice it, there's 3 points awarded in a game. Unlike the NHL, where, as you know, if you win in regulation, you get 2. But if you win in overtime or shootout, you get 2, and the other team gets 1. That's why we always talk about these 3-point games in the NHL, and how are some games worth only 2 points, i.e. someone wins in regulation, and some games are worth 3 points, i.e. someone wins in overtime or shootout. So maybe the NHL one day will go to this 3-point scoring system, which I do like. The reason why I like it, before we get into the madness of tomorrow, is you'll see teams want to win in regulation. They'll take more chances. They'll play more aggressively, because that extra point will be huge in the standings. Like, imagine over an 82 game season in the NHL, those extra points are massive. They're massive now under the current system, and they'd be way more massive if you got 3 points for winning in regulation. Now, what does that have to do with this Four Nations face-off? Well, US has won twice, so they have 6 points. Canada, Finland, and Sweden all have 2 points. Canada got their 2 points by beating Sweden in overtime, but then losing to US in regulation. So that's their 2. Finland got their 2 points by losing to the US in regulation, but by beating Sweden in extra time. And then Sweden got their 2 points by having 2 losses in overtime to Canada and Finland. So this is very important, you guys, to understand. It's very important because the first tiebreaker in the Four Nations face-off is head-to-head. How well did you do against the other team that you're tied with? And that's very important because Sweden, if you follow everything I just said, they have not won a game. They lost to Finland in extra time, and they lost to Canada in extra time. Finland has lost 1 in regulation, and they've won 1 in extra time, same as Canada. And both Canada and Finland have done the same thing. They've lost to the US in regulation, but they've beaten Sweden in extra time. So knowing the 3-2-1 0-point system, knowing that the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, this is what's the most important thing tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we know that Canada and Finland play at 10 a.m. If either team wins in regulation, they will be in the final against the U.S. Remember, the U.S. has 6 points. Canada, Finland, and Sweden all have 2 points. So no one can catch the U.S. U.S. has 6. Even if they get bombed tomorrow, sorry, wrong use of words. Even if they get smoked tomorrow, they will still wind up with 6 points, and they'll win the round robin. So they're in the finals for sure. Only the top 2 teams make the finals, obviously. So if Canada or Finland win in regulation, they are in the final against the USA, because if you do the math, let's say it's Canada, they get to 5 points, Finland gets 0, so they stay at 2. Even if Sweden beats the US, which they could, because the US might play their second string goaltender, they might simply not play as aggressive enough. I still think they will. I think they want to go 3-0. But let's say Sweden beats the US after Canada or Finland wins in regulation. Sweden and Canada or Finland will both have 5 points. But remember, Canada and Finland have both beaten Sweden. So that's why Canada or Finland holds the tiebreaker. So if Canada or Finland win in regulation, they are in the final on Thursday night against the US. If Canada versus Finland goes to overtime, therefore the winner gets 2 points, but Sweden beats the USA in regulation, 3 points, then Sweden ends up with 5 points, and they will be in second place ahead of Canada or Finland with 4. So if this scenario happens, extra time, and then Sweden beats the USA in regulation, then Sweden will make the final. So what's crazy is Canada and Finland. This is exactly what I was saying about the 3-point game. If it's tied going in with 5 minutes left, both teams are going to go nutso trying to win in regulation because they don't want to risk going to extra time against each other and then one of them will win. But then if Sweden wins in regulation, tall task, but they might, then they're in the final, not Canada or Finland. So that's scenario 2. And scenario 3 is this. If Canada versus Finland goes to overtime, but Sweden does not beat the USA in regulation, they either beat them in overtime, shootout, or they lose, then the winner of Canada versus Finland makes the final. So I hope that makes sense. I think the easiest way to put it is this. The only way Sweden makes the final is if they beat the USA in regulation and Canada, Finland goes to extra time. So 2 things have to happen. However, for Canada or Finland to make the final, either one team simply has to win in regulation or they win in overtime and Sweden does not beat the USA in regulation. So I hope that makes sense. That's the easiest that I could break it down for you. But I think that's a pretty thorough and fair breakdown, giving what's at stake and giving the math that's involved. So a lot of you guys think that USA is going to tank or they're not going to play their hardest because they've already locked up first place. So let's do this. Let me do my mid-show sponsor read already. Oh, actually, no, let me talk about both games real quick, and then I'll do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I'll have a lot of time for your questions and your comments. Watching the Canada versus US game last night, of course, there were the 3 fights in the first 9 seconds. Matthew Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, JT Miller. It doesn't matter who you thought won the fight, who you thought lost the fight, if it had everything or nothing to do with the anthems. That doesn't matter. What matters is what a raucous start to the game. We got both teams involved, and then it got the crowd involved. It was nuts. It was probably some of the most fascinating hockey I've watched since 2010 Olympics and 2011, Stanley Cup finals for the Vancouver Canucks and Bruins. I thought that, a couple things. McAvoy played McDavid pretty hard. He played Crosby pretty hard. He's a stiff defenseman. I was very impressed by him. It was fascinating that there was no Hughes for US, no Makar for Canada. Obviously, either guy could have made a big swing. Could have swung the momentum. I'm not blaming Binnington. Yeah, he didn't look great on the 2 goals, but he also made some really good saves. And he only let in 2. One of them was an empty netter, so he only let in 2. I think that Canada needs to get Hellebuyck moving side to side more. That's how they scored. That's how McDavid scored on him. Had him moving a little bit. You're not going to beat Hellebuyck with a straight shot where he's set and facing you. So they somehow got to get him moving side to side. And Canada obviously has the player. I would get so mad when JT Miller or Brock Besser or Elias Pettersson try that cross ice pass. But it's amazing how McDavid and McKinnon and Crosby and Reinhart can just whip it through the middle because they're such good passers. But they got to do more of that. They got to get Hellebuyck moving. They really, really do if they end up playing him again. So if it's Canada versus Finland, we know Finland's stubborn. We know that they want a low-scoring game. So I think Canada's going to have to jump on them early like they did against Sweden and then hold on to that lead. Like jump on Finland early. Don't get frustrated by their defense and try and get a couple goals or at least get a lead and make Finland have to open up their game a little bit, which would make them more susceptible to more goals. So I think that's the key to Canada winning. I don't think they've named a starting goaltender, whereas I think you guys were saying Lankinen is playing for Finland. So it's kind of weird, right? I basically don't mind Canada lighting up Lankinen tomorrow as long as you can promise me that Lankinen's confidence won't get shot. I don't think it will. He's too good of a goalie. So that's the 10 a.m. game. And then remember, if Canada or Finland win in regulation, then that's it. Then the second game of the night means nothing. However, if it goes to extra time, Sweden will have a chance to make the final by beating the U.S. Will the U.S. play their hardest? Will they play their strongest lineup? You can only do so much, right? It's not like it's going to be a weak lineup. There's only 2 or 3 extra skaters. But you can alter a little bit by playing a different goalie and simply not playing as aggressive, right? And just working on things. Although I think the U.S. pride will be too big for that. Regardless, that's going to be very interesting. But I think a lot's going to be determined by what happens in the earlier game. So much to think about, so many storylines, and I can't wait till it all gets going at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let's do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I'll turn it over to you for your questions and your comments. And as always, start my mid-show sponsor read by thanking my primary sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the Greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you sign up. Also, thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Speaking of purchasing, thanks to everyone who has purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. Thanks again to everyone who has done that. My shows this week are Parker's back. So we have Canucks After Dark tomorrow at 11 p.m. And then my own show. Oh, that's wrong. Hold on. That should say Canucks After Dark. Let me fix that. At 10 p.m. And then I'll do CCC tomorrow night at 11:15 p.m. And then CCC Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 11 p.m. So that makes more sense. Canucks After Dark at 10 tomorrow night. Then my show at 11:15 p.m. only for tomorrow. And then my show at its regular time Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 11 p.m. For the rest of the week. Finally, a mid-show reminder that you can get involved by subscribing to the channel, by liking the video, by leaving a donation, by gifting a membership, by buying your own membership, upgrading your membership, using your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Okay, friends, I'll do about 20 to 25 minutes of your questions and your comments, your predictions, most importantly, for tomorrow's game and games, and why. I said, who will face the USA in the gold medal game? 81% of you are saying Canada, only 11% of you saying Finland, and 6% of you saying Sweden. So there we go. 81% of you saying Canada is going to win tomorrow. Hey, Pauline, so what happens if either Canada or Finland goes to OT for either team? And then if US and Sweden goes to OT as well and Sweden wins? So Sweden will still lose the tiebreaker because they have lost head-to-head to Canada and Finland. So, Pauline, in your example, it's the same as if two teams win in regulation. It will go to the winner of Canada-Finland. I hope that makes sense, Pauline. Thoughts on PD's tourney so far? Just meh. Yeah, a lot like his regular season has been for the Canucks. He hasn't been outplayed, outclassed, outworked, but he hasn't been a difference maker either. Do you think Hughes will be ready to play once the Four Nations break ends? Yes, I do think so. I think 2 weeks. He was trying to get back even before Four Nations, so I think 2 weeks should be enough. Should be. I don't know for sure, of course. Don't know for sure. I leave for Vegas on Friday. Are you amazed at how captivating this tournament has turned out to be? Not at all, Swerve and Irvin. I'm not sitting here saying I told you so, but I was hoping and anticipating that it would be this exciting. Truly, the players were itching for it. Will be interesting to see how USA plays Sweden if Canada loses to Finland tomorrow. Yeah, I guess it depends what you're talking about. If Finland beats Canada in regulation, Sweden has nothing to play for except pride. But if Finland beats Canada in extra time, or Canada beats Finland in extra time, Sweden can still make the final with a regulation win over the US. A rivalry only happens when both teams win their share of games. Even 70-30 is something. 19-0 before yesterday isn't a rivalry. Yeah, it's funny, but I think you could get swayed by the fact that the U.S. has won a couple of the most recent World Juniors and things, but I hear what you are saying. And right on cue, BC says USA will win whoever they play. Canada will win 5-2 tomorrow. Score prediction, I'm going to say 4-2, Alfred. I'm going to go with my favorite score, 4-2 for Canada. Can't wait for the Canucks to get started back up. I know, one more week. Shannon, Canada wins 6-2. Love it. Justin Credible, another donation. Let's give Justin some love in the chat. USA won't tank to avoid a potential rematch with Canada. They've waited 9 years for this to show that their time is now. They will want to make a statement and keep good habits for the final match. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, obviously you know, and I know that they can't control who they're going to play. But what you're saying is they want to keep playing strong so they can feel the most confident heading into potentially a Canada rematch on Thursday night. That is fair. 4-2, Canada, says Austin. Do you think Father Tkachuk told his boys to start the game like that? I don't. JT Miller did say that there's a group chat among the team and that the Tkachuk brothers and Miller said that they were all going to fight. Whether that's true or not, who knows? Respect the Finns. I think we'll win, but respect the Finns. I think that's fair. Starting that, to think we regret that no trade with Carolina for Natchez and Kotkaniemi. Yeah, if that's indeed the case, that would have been an interesting trade. Fasten your seatbelts for a great wrap to the season. The coaches have new drills. The best players have just played in a playoff type atmosphere, and the rest of the league is rested. I like it. I like it. When do you think next big move Canucks now make? Edmund, I would not be surprised if they do not make a big move. I think they might make a couple minor moves before the trade deadline, but I don't know if anything big. PD has been very underwhelming in this tourney, not a difference maker. That's fair. JT Miller half punched himself in his fight. No, I have to go rewatch that again. Will JT and PD play aggressive each other? You know, it'll be interesting. If this is a mean-nothing game, I think there's more chances there'll be shenanigans, actually. Otherwise, Sweden won't want to take any stupid penalties. Not that PD would. 3 for Canada, 2 for Finland. Okay, Carol, no problem. Does the nation face-off break supplant the All-Star break in the future? No, Erwin, this is a one-and-done tourney. Just a one-off. Next year, it's the Olympics. 2028 will be World Cup of Hockey. Nice uppercut by Miller. Is that where he punched himself? The last minutes of Canada-US look like Canucks hockey. Wonder why. Well, there is one coach on there from the Canucks for sure. You would love to see Miller troll PD. What's with PD, man? I mean, yeah, the cool assist for his lease, but he's playing good defensively. But man, we pay this man to produce and be a play driver. No argument from me, Peter. Mark P says 3-2 with an empty minute to make it 4. I'll go with that. Coach Rob 3-1 Canada. Does Binnington get the start against Finland? If it were me, I would. I don't know if I put in a goaltender that's cold because I think Binnington played okay. Like, he wasn't brutal. J-Kid 3-2 Canada. As great as best and best is finally see, it feels like Stanley Cup playoff games that have the Canucks have another level of energy for me as a fan. Totally fair, Sonny. Totally fair. I think when push comes to shove, fans would rather see a Canucks Stanley Cup win over a Team Canada win, even in the Olympics. Although that would be pretty cool. Canada 3-2 says Natty. If Binnington in net, it'll be 4-3 Canada. With Hill, it'll be 4-1. USA are goons premeditating 3 fights. Haha. What's your opinion if they're going to start the backup goaltender? My guess is Binnington. My guess. 3-2 Canada. Incredible atmosphere in Montreal. Was that because of the rivalry heated up? Both. Montreal fans are known as really good fans. And yes, because of the anticipation with the rivalry. Go Canada. I think it's going to be Binnington. Think Elias Pettersson will win Rookie of the Year at the end of the season? No. You mean Elias Pettersson, DPD? No. There's too many other good rookies in the league. Tyler doesn't like booing the anthem. Even though Binnington played well, them 4 goals led in by Sweden and USA's weak shots. Okay, yeah. Those have been weaker, but he's also made some really good saves. Do you think Canada made an error in not getting the right line mates for 97? Well, it's only been 2 games. McDavid was the only one who scored yesterday. You know, I don't know. I kind of want to see Marchand with McKinnon and Crosby, like put all the East Coast guys together. Then you could go McDavid, Marner, and whoever, Reinhart or Stone. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say. JT, you might take a dumb penalty on PD, and PD is cheeky enough to draw it. That's fair. Pool is going same as always. I'm winning my mom's pool. I'm winning my auction pool, and I'm not doing well in the Sorry, winning my mom's pool, winning my keeper pool, not doing well in my auction pool. 3-0 Canada, statement game from Binnington, which no one will expect. I like that, Justin. Speaking of PD, what do you think is really wrong with him? I think he's still injured in the knee, but the Canucks don't like him admitting that. That explains his lack of speed, and then it trickles into a mental thing as well. Going in, the U.S. team was the team to beat. I think their goaltending really propped him up for sure. He's too slow, said about PD. Consider yourself a Canada do or Canada don't. It's got to be Canada do. Do you think Canada missed McCarr last game? Absolutely. 4-3 Canada. He's a game time decision as well, Kyle. If you're a center and now play wing during Four Nations, that has to be a tough adjustment. Yeah, especially if you're used to a certain position and certain control. For sure, but every team is doing that, I think. A little bit. I hope PD doesn't get hurt and that JT Miller and PD just leave each other alone. Yeah. Have to agree with booing anthem. They should not threaten Canada with war. Also, let's not forget about the Cold War hockey between Russia and Canada. So much booing during that time. Now that the Canucks made all those additions prior to Four Nations break, what's the team's biggest current need? Top six score. Canadian 2010 Olympic team versus current U.S. team. Who wins? That's a great question. That's a great game. I think without Hughes, Canada 2010, I think with Hughes, it's a dead heat. Oh, that 2010 team was so good, top to bottom, though. What do you think of Canada's bottom six? What changes would you make? It's tough. There's the Tampa guy. Like, Point's good. Cirelli's good. Hagel's good. Reinhart, Bennett. Sorry, Reinhart's playing top six. There's Bennett. I don't know much you could do at this point. Would you like to see a Scheifele or a Zach Hyman on the team? Maybe a few more scorers, but I don't know. It's only been 2 games. Could you sense the political animosity during the 87? I was only 13 years old, Irvin, so I honestly can't remember. Bennington also has some experience winning 3 times in Boston before in their cup run. Great point. Colorado called McCarr and told him that the brothers were going to do that, so he called in sick. I find booing the anthem disrespectful since it's more our government screwing up anything. No booze in San Fran for O Canada at the All-Star. Fillmore, did you go? I was intrigued by the format changes, but I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, that 2010 was a beast. That team was goated. Crazy P was at the Royals game. Yes, Coach Rob sent me a picture with him and Crazy P. I just bought a Team Canada hoodie Authentic Pro. Nice. That's awesome, Harry. I agree with the 2010 team. Yeah, Marchand barely played yesterday. Surprise. Keith, Seabrook, Doughty, Niedermeyer, and Pronger. That's true. Pull Marchand for you can't now. Why do you think Marchand, Bennett, and Reinhardt didn't play in the third? Because I think they wanted to load up on the more offensive guys. I don't know. Watch on TV. No need to watch it. All right. Which Four Nations game stood out to you most and why? Well, Canada-Sweden. Well, the 2 Canadian games, admittedly. Canada-Sweden just because of the quick start and then the drama, and then Canada-USA for the crazy start. Canada needs goalie development led by Price, Luongo, other pro-Canada goalies. We're lagging behind in Europe and U.S. Yes, we are. We definitely are. Bergeron was the 13th forward on the 2010 team. Wow. First time I've seen him at a Royals game, and I've been going for 10 years. Oh, Crazy P. How many team captains were on that 2010 team? Yeah. That would be crazy. If you take one player from each of the 3 Four Nations teams to replace with a player on Canada, who would it be? Yeah, I take Matthew Tkachuk from Sweden. Yeah, I don't know how good he's been, but Hedman would look good on our D right now. I'm trying to think of who's been scoring for Sweden. Jesper Bratt's looked impressive. Yeah, Rantanen's good too. And then, Rantanen's Finland. Yeah. And then Hedman, I agree about the Sweden for sure. Good question. Thoughts on fights? You mean on yesterday's fights? It got me going. I was pretty pumped, to be honest with you. I was pretty pumped. Sweden, Finland was good. Yeah, it was tight. It went into overtime. Tight checking. It was good. It was a good game. Crazy Pete lives in Victoria now? I did not know that. Hey, Adrian, I haven't even looked. That poll, because all the results are based on Final standings. There's no point even me looking at it right now. Forsling would be good. Oh yeah, maybe it's probably a lot cheaper to live in Victoria too. Do you think they could have added Scheifele and Lowry? What? No, I think the Harry. I think you mean. Do you think they should have added Lowry? No, Scheifele. Yeah. Yeah, Sweden and Finland do not like each other. It's just like Canada, U.S. Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews on a milk carton. I only say that because of my DraftKings line. Hey, Clue, I believe you. I believe you. Crazy P is a super fan, drum, chants. He took over from a guy named Crazy George, BC Lions games. So it took from Crazy George, who was very popular, to Crazy P at BC Lions games. And then Crazy P started to do Canucks games. And does he do Whitecaps games as well? And he does other smaller sports teams as well. He's basically a cheerleader. WHL expansion. Yeah, we talked about this on Thursday night show. Exciting. Yeah, good question. Maybe he's got a great travel allowance. Russians in terms of hockey rival. ABC station in San Fran showed the Chinese parade instead of hockey. I accept it since the Bay doesn't really care for hockey when Sharks are losing. Shown on a sub channel. Interesting. No problem, Tyler. When do the Olympic camps? They do Olympic camps. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do a camp, like a tryout camp. Rather, they just get picked and then they bring the guys together, I think. I don't know. Do you think Demko should play for the Four Nations face-off? So I think if he wasn't injured and if he was playing well, he would have made the team as the second or third goalie, but he wouldn't have unseated Hellebuyck. Crazy C. Don't you see that every night, Adrian? No. One day. I've traveled Crazy P twice before. He's a lot of fun. He beats the drum and gets the Go Canucks Go chants going. Hey, Taylor. Hockey competition without the Russians seems so wrong. Yeah, it does. All right, if the Canucks win the Stanley Cup, I will transform into Crazy C right on a stream. I think it's going to be Bennington. After all is said and done, who is on your Mount Rushmore? Okay. Because I did not get to see Bobby or Gordie Howe play, and I think the general consensus is the top 5 players in whatever order are Gretzky, Lemieux, Howe or Crosby. My recency bias, because I didn't see Gordie Howe or Bobby Orr play, my recency bias would put Crosby in there. But is that like sacrilegious? Should it be Gretzky, Lemieux, Howe, and Orr? Or could you say it's Gretzky, Lemieux, Howe, Crosby, or Gretzky, Lemieux, or Crosby? For me, that's what it'd be. It'd be Gretzky, Lemieux, or Crosby, because again, I didn't see Gordie Howe or Bobby Orr play, and I might be saying the most sacrilegious thing at all. And then I think to fit around the top 10, you're looking at guys like Jagger and maybe Bossy and Guy Lafleur, Mark Messier even, Alex Ovechkin. But I do think my Mount Rushmore, if they had 5 guys on it, would be Crosby, Lemieux, Gretzky, Howe, and Orr. And if I have to take one of those guys out, I take I think I take Gordie Howe out. But that's Mr. Hockey. That's kind of weird, right, to say that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you, Taylor. I only have one team. I have a couple things from 2010, and I have that 2014 Sochi hockey jersey that I've worn on the stream, and I'll wear again tomorrow. Hellebuyck going to lead Canada to a Stanley Cup. Oh, you mean the Winnipeg Jets? Yeah, you think there could be Russia, there could be Germany, who's the Swiss have been better, Czechia, to name a few. Slovakia, maybe. So there's maybe 9 teams there. I will run down the street spazzing out like Homer if the Canucks win the cup, as you should. Hey, what? They have a pre-sale on February 25th for the Olympics? I did not know that. Tyler said they shouldn't boo the anthem. Did you say that already, or did someone else say that? I have Ovechkin or Jagger. Like I said, Indigo, you might have typed that as I was talking about it. Like in the next group of 5 for sure, with guys like Bossy, Messier, Lafleur. Well, maybe Lafleur. I don't think anyone puts him in their top 10, but I just remember being a big fan of him. But definitely, I have Ovechkin and Jagger in the next batch of 5 for sure. How long until McDavid wins a cup? And if it doesn't happen in the next 3 or 4 years, does he request out? It would be a shame if he doesn't get at least a chance to win. He had a chance to win it last year. He was 1 game away. I'm not sure if he requests out because he might not get much closer though than last year. It's so tough to say. I'm not sure Edmonton is going to do it with that goaltending, to be honest with you. Although again, they're only 1 game away last year. What would a Vancouver Canucks Mount Rushmore be? 5 players. Okay. If it was 5, and I'm not just trying to pick a starting 5 because there's 6. I'm going Sedins. I'm going Bure, Luongo. And then right behind them are Naslin and Linden. That's what I'm doing. I think Quinn Hughes could be there. You could argue that it could be the Sedins, Luongo, and Hughes, and Bure. There we go. Russia and Czechia Euro teams for Draisaitl. Yeah, they're Fillmore. I think they're going away from, well, obviously not Olympics. They're not going to do it because those aren't countries. But even in stuff like World Cup or whatever, they're not going to do the combined teams, the gimmicky teams like the North America team and the Team Europe team. It's got to be the actual nations. Yeah, Ovechkin, I put him in the next tier for sure. Do I think McDavid breaks your top 5 by the end? He could. Yeah, he could. Bobby Orr, number 4. Canadian Mount Rushmore, Richard, Crosby, Lafleur, Howe, Lemieux. I don't mind it, but I'm also, Harry, I'm not really big into jersey. Like, I'm not the best person to ask about. I think it's fine. McDavid needs a cup or 2 to make the Mount Rushmore. That's fair. Yeah, the break's good for the Canucks to heal up, but it's good for every team to heal up for sure. Top 5 goalies of all time. Ooh. Dryden, Hasek, Brodeur, Waugh. Those are at least 4. I love Luongo. I don't know if he's top 5 of all time, though. Who am I missing? Next Winter Olympics is in Italy. Yes. Is it Milan? Let me see. 2026 Winter Olympics. Yeah, northern and northeast Italy. Milan, Cortina, D'Ampezzo, a bunch of places I can't say. Gretzky, Lemieux, Crosby. I got to go with Jagger. But Forsberg, Ovechkin, maybe in a few years we're talking about David. That's fair. Mark, I'm not sure how old you are. You're kind of forgetting. Well, I basically said only keep one of Bobby or Gordie Howe, so I'm not much better. But I think you're forgetting some of the old guys. McDavid should come to LA like Gretzky did. Why do you think Horvat was left off the Four Nations roster? Because he's not good enough. He's not as good as those 13 forwards, Fangirl. What are his chances at the next Olympics? I still think not good enough. He's good. He's a good player. I'd say he's a top 20 to 25 player in Canada, but not a top 13 or 14. For the 5 Canucks, I agree with you. Bure is special. Lou for sure. You got it. For the Canucks Rushmore, you can cheat and put only one Sedin because they are identical. I like that. North American. It was fun to see them on the ice together, but yeah. No, he just missed the cut, Adrian. Okay, bald Canucks players. Bald. Alex Auld. No, I'm just kidding. Who are the good bald? Does Harold Schneps count as bald? True bald? Babbage? I don't know. This isn't going very good. Cassius Clay in his prime. That would be an awesome. Terry Sawchuk. That's good. Swedish Canucks. Sedins. Edler. Oland. Oh, you guys, there was a player named Patrick Sundstrom back in the day who was super good. I'm gonna go with Patrick Sundstrom, but I think that PD will overtake him. Patrick Sundstrom. Yeah, for the Sundstrom for the Canucks, 46 points, 91, 68, 68, 71. Oh, he only played 5 seasons. But give me Sedins, Olin, and Edler for sure. Yeah, Billy Smith was good. Rushmore of players who never won the cup. Ovechkin. No, Ovechkin won a cup. What am I talking about? I don't know. This one, I got to think too hard. All Canucks players. Top 5 for Team Canada in terms of what they did for Team Canada. Crosby, Gretzky, Lemieux. Oh, maybe a defenseman like Shea Weber or who's Paul Henderson, I guess, just from historical context. Yes, I do like Canada tomorrow. I think they're going 4-2. Price, Luongo, Lundqvist, Hellebuck, Fleury. Okay, that's fair. Milan is close to Alps. Tyler Myers could have played for Team Canada. Do you think the Canucks hit 16 overtime losses by the end of the season? I think the record is 18. What are we at now, Justin? What are we at now? But my answer is yes. Good. Love the Italy talk. I hope we light Lankin up just for one game. Mount Rushmore of players that played less than 10 games for Vancouver. I have to get back to you. Greg Adams was good. Sundin. No Mark Messier on the bald team. Sundin. Brashear was bald. They need to do the NHL trade them. I'm not sure what you're asking, Simon, but Winnipeg is strong. I think Toronto will flame out. I'm not sure Montreal and Ottawa are going to make it. Calgary not going to make it. Edmonton's good and Vancouver's okay. Oh, of course. Naslund. What am I talking about? So, yes, my Mount Rushmore, the 5 best Swedish players, Sedins, Naslund, Olin, Edler. Pretty easy. Gretzky, Messier, Forsberg, Grant Fuhr, and Russ Courtnall. Like it. Yeah, I forgot about Naslund. I forgot. My bad. Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Cassius Clay, what a name. If you were a player in Vancouver, would you have any teams on no trade lists? Yeah, generally you have to have at least 8 to 10 or 12. I don't know. I wouldn't be excited to go to Buffalo. I wouldn't be excited to go to Carolina, even though they're a good team. Maybe Utah. I don't know. I'm just picking teams. Calgary. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Definitely Buffalo probably going to be on there, though. Yeah, Thomas Green was good. Sam Lafferty, bald. Joe Thornton. Sakic's good. Most underrated player in the NHL. Actually, it started off as Marty Necas for me. I don't know about now, though. Maybe Logan Thompson? Yes, Paul Henderson. For sure. Okay, friends, I'm going to wrap up here. Some good thoughts, but I'm going to get going. You guys are awesome, and I really hope you enjoy Canada, Finland tomorrow. Rev Trev is doing, Kempner Canucks is doing a stream after the game, and he invited me to be on it, so I'm going to jump on with him for a little while after the Canada-Finland game. So if you want to talk about the game right after the game, it won't be here on my channel, but it will be over on Rev Trev's channel. Gonna chat with him. Then I got Canucks After Dark at 10, and then my own show at 11:15. So a lot of content for you tomorrow for sure. But I hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. And remember, as long as one of Canada or Finland win in regulation, they are on to the finals against the U.S. on Thursday. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Harry Maul, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks for your support. And to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. On their way out, you can like the video, you can subscribe, you can leave a late donation. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Lou, weight loss coach, and thanks to everyone who went above and beyond. Swervin Urban with the donation. legendary Lucas Gates with the donation. And once again, congratulations on being recipient of the King Charles III Coronation Medal. Very, very cool. Thank you, Justin Credible, for the $25 donation, 5 franchise memberships, and another $10 donation from Justin Credible to wind things up. So thanks to all of you, Irvin, Lucas, and Justin, for going above and beyond tonight. Very, very grateful. Okay, friends. Calvin, go to the 10-minute mark of the stream. I explain it in great detail. Enjoy the game. Okay. Monthly membership message. Now I got to answer it, which I have no problem doing. So let's give some love to Calvin999 Charlie for using his monthly membership message. If Canada or Finland win in regulation, they're going to the final. If Canada or Finland win in extra time and Sweden wins in regulation over the US, then Sweden goes to the final. If Sweden loses in any way, shape, or form, or they do not win in regulation, then it's going to be Canada or Finland. So the only way that Sweden can get to the final is if they beat the USA in regulation and Canada, Finland goes to extra time. I hope that answers your question, Charlie. I think I covered all the scenarios right there. Okay, for real. Here we go. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. By the way, do you know what the Dalmatian said after he ate dinner? What did the Dalmatian say after he ate dinner? That hit the spot. God bless. And go Canucks go. Go Canada go. Booyah.